Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I will look at the major differences between the Samsung's Note 10 and the OnePlus 7 Pro. The 7 Pro will start from $670 and goes to $750, while the Note will be starting from $950. So let's get into the video, and starting off with the physical aspects. On both phones, it's gonna be aluminum frame and curved Gorilla Glass back. And where the Note 10 will have mirror-like finish, the OnePlus will have matte finish on the back. The screen will be 6.3 inches diagonally on the Note 10 versus 6.67 inches on the 7 Pro, while 6.8 inches on the larger Note 10 Plus. So as for their overall size, huge difference, the OnePlus 7 Pro being a pretty large phone and being very similar to the Note 10 Plus. The OnePlus 7 Pro is also gonna be noticeably thicker and way more heavier than the Galaxy Note 10. As for the bezels, on both phones, the top bezel and the bottom bezel thickness is the same, while the side bezels will be more thinner on the Galaxy Note 10, and on both phones the screen will be curved. The fingerprint scanner will be in screen on both phones, while it will be an ultrasonic scanner on the Note 10 versus an optical one on the OnePlus 7 Pro. And in terms of the speeds, the OnePlus is gonna be faster easily, and face unlock will also be there on both phones, and the 7 Pro will have a pop-up camera, but it's still pretty fast. For connectivity, both phones will have the USB Type-C port, and both will not have the headphone jack. As for the speaker setup, it will be stereo speakers on both phones, one being the main speaker on the bottom side and the other one being the earpiece, while the Note 10 will have a tiny hole on top side from which the sound will also come. And the Note 10 will be IP68 certified, while the OnePlus does not have any certification, so chances of water damage are gonna be more on the OnePlus. The Note 10 will have the S Pen, so if you like to draw, that's great, and it can also detect movement and type of movement, and it's also gonna have a button on it, so you can use all these things to control the Note 10 from a distance and increase functionality. As for the display, it will be AMOLED on both phones with resolution of Quad HD on the OnePlus versus Full HD on the Note 10. So sharp screen on the OnePlus. Also, this screen is gonna have refresh rate of 90Hz compared to 60Hz screen on the Note 10. So on the 7 Pro, smooth scrolling, swiping and gaming, and this is why OnePlus is calling this screen Fluid AMOLED, and this is a major selling point of the handset. So both of these are OLED, so super deep blacks, while in terms of the brightness, OnePlus is good but not the best. The screen on the Note 10 is significantly more brighter than the 7 Pro, means higher contrast, while both phones still supports dynamic HDR. Always on display will not be there on the OnePlus versus it will be there on the Note, and at last both will have the Gorilla Glass to protect them. As for the performance, it's gonna be the Snapdragon 855 on both phones in North America, while Exynos 9825 on the Note 10 for the rest of the world. So both phones will be great, while this benchmark you're seeing here is from the Exynos Note 10, while Snapdragon 855 scores more in terms of the CPU. As for the RAM, it's gonna be 8GB on the Note 10 versus 6, 8 or 12GB on the 7 Pro, while 12GB will still be an overkill. Least storage will be 128GB on the 7 Pro, which goes up to 256, while the Note will only have a 256GB variant, and on both phones this storage is not gonna be expandable. But also on both phones, this storage will be UFS 3.0, which is a newer and more faster technology compared to UFS 2.1, which we have on almost every other phone right now. This will result in lesser loading times, especially in games and heavy apps. And right now OnePlus is still faster, while Samsung will optimize the Note 10 as the time goes by. And at last, both phones will be running Android 9 Pie with One UI on the Note 10 versus Oxygen OS on the 7 Pro. Now to the cameras. It will be 48 megapixel quad rear sensor on the 7 Pro with very large but fixed aperture and OIS, versus 12 megapixels on the Note 10 with dual aperture, so f2.4 for good light and f1.5 for low light, and it's also gonna have OIS. So in good light, both will be great, while the Note 10 will handle the dynamic range better thanks to its smaller aperture. And in low light, the 7 Pro produces slightly less brighter pictures compared to the Note 10, while on both phones there is gonna be a long exposure night mode which improves dynamic range, And at last, for defocusing, the Note 10 is gonna have dual pixel face detection, while the 7 Pro will use laser autofocus, so defocusing should be pretty fast on both phones. The wide angle sensor will be 16 megapixels on both phones, while the field of view will be way lesser on the 7 Pro. And as for the image quality of this one, it's gonna be lesser on the OnePlus compared to the Note 10. And as for the telephoto sensor on the Note 10, it's gonna have 2 times optical zoom, versus on the OnePlus, it's gonna have 3 times zoom, while the Note will produce high resolution telephoto shots compared to the OnePlus. As for videos, both phones can capture 4K videos at 60 FPS, and as for stabilization, on both phones it's gonna be the best in 1080p at 30 FPS and just okay in 4K at 60. On the Note 10, you can use the wide angle and telephoto cameras to capture 4K videos, while on the OnePlus, you cannot use the wide angle camera to capture videos at all, while the telephoto can be used to capture 4K videos. As for slow motion capture, both phones will capture 240 FPS videos, means 8 times slower in 1080p, and the super slow motion will be at 480 FPS on both phones in 720p, and the duration will be roughly the same on both phones, while the Note 10 can also capture 960 FPS slow mos, means 32 times slower. And one last thing, on the Note 10 there will be a super steady video mode which will use the wide angle camera to capture super stabilized and steady videos in 1080p. Now to the front side, so pop-up 16 megapixel selfie shooter on the 7 Pro versus 10 megapixels on the Note 10. Both will be great here in terms of dynamic range and detail. Both can take portrait selfies, while the Note 10 can also shoot selfie portrait videos, while in terms of the quality they are gonna be pretty bad. While one major advantage the Note 10 will have, and that's the autofocus front camera, so sharp selfies every time. At last, for the battery, so 3500 mAh on the Note 10 versus 4000 mAh on the OnePlus 7 Pro. So lesser capacity on the Note 10 versus more power hungry screen on the OnePlus 7. The Note 10 Plus gives slightly more screen on time with its larger and high resolution screen compared to the OnePlus. And also on the internet, nobody is covering the smaller Note 10, everybody is after the bigger model. So there is no info at all about the real life usage of the smaller Note 10. So I think the screen on time will be slightly lower on the Galaxy Note 10 compared to the OnePlus 7 Pro. The Note 10 will have the wireless charging and reverse wireless charging, while the OnePlus 7 Pro won't have it. And at last, for fast charging, the 7 Pro comes with a 30 watts charger compared to 25 watts on the Note 10. So the OnePlus gets to about 60% in 30 minutes and takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes to fully recharge. Versus again, the Note 10 Plus also gets to about 60% in 30 minutes, while it takes 1 hour and 5 minutes for the handset to fully recharge, which is insane actually considering its bigger battery. So the smaller Note 10 with its smaller battery should also take the same amount of time, or it can be even faster to fully recharge. So this is it for this video guys. Let me know what you guys think about both handsets, and if you found this video interesting then be sure to like it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.